How to connect successfully on any platform. A successful connection is when two or more parties are in sync and you can actually build rapport with people. It is reciprocal when both parties can actually benefit from each other. And in this video, I am going to share with you a few bullet points that will help you navigate and improve on how to connect effectively on any platform and to build the rapport that you need to really engage with the person that you want to connect with. It could be a group setup or it could be an individual, a one on one. So don't forget, when we're building rapport, it takes time. When you're building a connection with someone, that relationship will take time to build. But because it is so sensitive, the process, you also have to be mindful not to break that relationship. It takes work, it takes effort. So it takes time to build, but it can also be easily broken. So I'm going to share with you some of the bullet points today that will help you navigate on how to improve, how to connect with people effectively on any platform. All right? So the first one is about attention. When you're meeting with someone, you want to show extreme attention to that person, the energy that you give to that person, the posture that you exude when you're meeting with someone. You want to ensure that that is a very positive energy, full attention to that person. Nothing else matters at that moment. It's just you and that person. When you're having those conversations, you normally are nodding, you are paraphrasing what they are saying so that you ensure that you have full understanding about what they're talking about. That connection is making the other party, the other person know that you're engaged. Have you ever been on a conversation with someone and they're looking at their phone, or maybe they are looking at their nails, or they're looking at you, right? But they're constantly looking elsewhere. Like they don't have that attention to you exclusively. I'm not talking about being like this the whole time and not even blinking. No, I'm talking about having that posture, that energy where you're constantly talking with that person and you're listening, you're nodding, you're paraphrasing, you're following up on what they're saying. This is extremely important. This is what is called a nonverbal cue. You have to really have that energy in the room when you're having with that person, and that gives that sense of comfort to the other individual to know that you're engaged and that you're fully listening to them. The next one is about background. You need to do a little bit of background homework on that person before you connect with them. If you really want to have a good relationship with them or with that group, you want to know what things you have in common with them. If it's an individual that you're talking with, find things that are in common with that person. What drives them? What are their core values? Because if you remember, core values is what drives people's behavior. That's what they live by. So you want to ensure that what they believe in, what their core values are, is really what you believe in as well, so that you can have a harmonious relationship. And that will solidify the connection between you and them. It's super important that this is done prior to having that conversation and that connect with that person. The next one is make sure the conversation is focused on them. They love to share their stories and they love when you're actually interested in their stories. So pay attention. Make sure that you really understand their story. Ask questions. When you ask questions, make sure that you follow some of the cues. The cues are, if they're talking strictly about business, you keep it business. If they in the conversation they share with you about family, they share about their kids, their dogs, their pets, then you know that there are some cues they're giving you in the conversation where you can actually entertain asking other personal questions. But I will give you a little bit of caution here. When you're having those conversations, make sure not to inquire things that they haven't given you cues to ask for. It's very disrespectful for you to start asking questions about personal life when they haven't even given you a cue on that. And you will learn quickly if you do so, because you will know the energy immediately will change. So you have to be mindful and listen to the cues. When they're talking about their stories, they're sharing information with you, ensure that you stay in line with the same type of conversation they're sharing with you. You don't want to start asking questions on things that they haven't given you cues on that are okay to ask for. All right. So make sure the conversation is always focused on them. They love to share their stories, listen to them, enjoy them, ask questions, be engaged. Now, one more thing I will share in this subject is when you're going to a meeting with them, let's say that you go to a restaurant and you're meeting with them there, and they happen to order something very light, maybe an iced tea and maybe a dessert. You may want to stay along the same lines when they're ordering. You don't want to order a full plate with lobster or steak or huge pasta when you know what they're doing is something very simple. You want to stay in line with the same ordering they are having. You want to order about the same thing that they're ordering. Stay in line with that. If you happen to go to a coffee shop, make sure that if they order a small coffee, you order a coffee as well, or it's a light drink. Do not try to overpower by ordering things that are not um, in tune with what they are ordering. It's super important to pick up on all those cues. All right. And the last one is to show gratefulness. There has to be a level of appreciation every single time you connect with this person, whether it's the first connect or continuous meetings that you have with this person. Do not leave without saying, "Thank you so much for connecting with me today. I really value the time vested this afternoon or this morning or this evening to be with you and to learn from you. I really appreciate the time and the relationship that we're building." You have to remember that this connect is not for your own gain. This connect is because you truly value the relationship that you're building with this person, and you're grateful for that. And because of that, you want to share that in every single meeting. I have friends that I developed since I was a child. I still have very good friends. And every single time that I speak with them and I connect with them, I share with them how grateful I am about having them as my friends, about having that relationship. I also have my mentors, and every single time I speak with them, I make sure that I share with them the level of appreciation that I have for giving me time to connect with them, learn from them, and to really have a good connect where we can mutually benefit. We're all in sync, we benefit from each other. It's super important that you make that very clear on every single meeting that you have, whether it's family, friends, co-workers, your boss. Make sure that this level of appreciation to connect is always given and pronounced and share every single time. All right. So these are the bullet points that I had for you today. I hope they resonated with you. If they did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I am on Instagram as well, so you can follow me there. And if you had relationships where you build that meaningful relationship and you have experience building that relationship and the benefit that you gain from those relationships, if you did something different, share that with me on the comments so that I can hear from you as to what are your best practices as well. Not only I will hear from them, but everybody else will read the comments and learn from you as well. Until then, I wish you a wonderful rest of your week. Be safe out there, and may God bless you. Talk to you soon.